Hey, what's going on, Team Geometry? This is 8.2 lecture notes. As you can see, it's about finding missing measurements if you're given the volume. So it's like what we did yesterday, but backwards. So we're going to be given the volume and then find the dimensions. Let's get into it. Just a brief reminder, we're dealing with two types of solids right now. One is prisms. These are polyhedra. That is, they are solids that are formed by joining polygons together. I think I told you that a cylinder was an example of a polyhedron, which is clearly a lie because the top of a cylinder is a circle, as is the bottom, and a circle is not a polygon, so sorry about that. I'll try to never do it again. Alright, here's the first example. Take a moment, pause it, see, just try to make sense of the question. Hopefully you're noticing that they give us some information. They give us the volume. I'm just going to write that off on the side because that's important. 355 milliliters. That's the same as cubic centimeters, by the way. And that's actually a useful fact to know, that a milliliter is the same as a cubic centimeter. For example, if you were given like a Dasani bottle that has the volume in milliliters, you know the volume in cubic centimeters. So if you wanted to maybe compare it to, I don't know, a rectangular prism that's a tea box, if you could figure out what the tea box's volume was in cubic centimeters, you'd be home free. Alright, anyway, enough of that. So let's keep going. They tell us the radius of the can is 3 centimeters. So now they're asking us to find the height. So like what I'm actually after here is the height. It's yellow, you can't really see it. The height of the can. So let's first draw a picture. So the first thing I need to draw a picture is a circle. That's my top circle. I'm going to draw another circle under here. This will be the second base, the second circular base. Then I'll draw two lines, so I'll have my cylinder. Alright, not perfect, but it's not too easy to do on this. Alright, so there's my cylinder, and again I'm told that the radius is 3, and I don't know the height, so what I'm after is the height. Let's show it in this color here. That is my height, and that is a mystery. But not really, because I know the volume. So, since this is a cylinder, I can say the volume is the area of the base times the height. And I believe I know what the volume is and the area of the base, given that the base is a circle. Hopefully you agree. I think we know what the radius is, so we can plug it in, like so. And let's see, hopefully you like this so far. Let's take a moment and solve this for h. Just pause it and go. And unbox it. I got this. Hopefully you agree. Notice I plugged in, the radius was 3. Where's my laser? Alright, the radius was 3, so I plugged that in for the radius. 3 squared is 9, so I have 9 pi h. To get h by itself, I divided by 9 pi on both sides, and 355 divided by 9 pi is like 12.6. If you got like 123 or something like that, I think what you did was forget to put parentheses around 9 pi, so your calculator thought you meant do 355 divided by 9 and then multiply by pi. So just make sure you're getting this correctly using your calculator right. Onwards. Alright, here's example 2. Pause it, take a moment, see if you can draw a picture of it. So I've also gone ahead and annotated the question. They told me the area of the base was 16, so I wrote area sub base is 16 square feet, volume 64 cubic feet. And I've gone ahead, I've drawn one sort of regular looking pentagon. It's not the prettiest thing I've ever seen. But now in order to draw my regular pentagonal prism, I'm going to need to duplicate this base over here somewhere. So I'm going to draw a pentagon that looks something like that, and then do what I do. Alright, so there's my second pentagon. Again, I'm just doing the best I can here. So I'm going to join this vertex to that vertex, this one to that one, this vertex right here to that guy right there, and Alright. I'm not going to win any art contests anytime soon, but whatever. I don't need the money. I'm a teacher. Alright, so here we go. Here's our, what is this? A pentagonal, regular pentagonal prism. So it's got a front pentagon and a back pentagon. This looks sort of like a barn, maybe. So think of it as like a barn. All right, so fortunately I don't have to play around with the area of a pentagon. Just remember that you've done that in class, area of a regular pentagon, and it was horrible. And you totally forgot all the stuff I was telling you about drawing triangles and this and that. Fortunately here you don't have to mess around because they just tell you the area of the pentagon is 16. So I know the area of the pentagon, or of the base. I'm looking for the height, and I know the volume. So that should look familiar. The volume is the area of the base times the height. Do I know the area of the base? Why, yes, I actually do. It is 16. Do I know the height? No, that's what the question was asking me to find. So of course I don't know the height. That's what I'm trying to find. Which of the following could be the... Oh, I guess this was a multiple choice question, and the multiple choice answers didn't make it. Sad. All right, volume we know is 64, so I'm going to put it where I should put volume. So now I have this. So in order to find h, take a moment, solve for h. I got 4 feet. Or if this was a multiple choice question, let's say answer choice A was 4 feet. Answer choice B was yo mama's hairy back side. I would choose answer choice A. Anyway, on to example 3. Take a moment, pause, read it, and if you feel up to it, try to tackle it yourself. Alright, in case you're unsure, hopefully the hint here of the fact that it's a triangular prism let you figure out, or helped you figure out, that the base was a triangle, hence the name triangular prism. Common misconception would be to take... I want to use a different laser runner. Would be to take the rectangle at the bottom and call that the base, because it's like the lowest, it's what this thing is resting on. But again, base actually has a special meaning for prisms. So this is clearly the base because opposite it, there is a congruent polygon to it. So let me set this up. So it's a prism, so I say volume is area of base times height. If you've noticed me do that on every single problem, it's because later on you're going to deal with not prisms, like shapes other than prisms, with different volume formula. And so if you don't get in the habit of like saying, hey, I'm dealing with a prism, this is the volume formula, you're much more likely to make mistakes. All right, let's fill in what we know. So I've gone ahead and said that I know the volume is 240, and I know the height is x. So there's the height. They gave me the volume of 240. I'm looking for the height, which is x. So there it is. Now I need to know what the area of the base is. So did they give me the area of the base? Scan the question. No. But it's a triangle, and I think I know how to find the area of a triangle. I think that is the area of the triangle. 1/2 times base times height. 1/2 times 4 times 6. So let me clean this up. I think 1/2 times 4 is 2. 2 times 6, 12. So now I think I need to divide by 12. And I'm left with 20. So, in case you're that kid, yes, x is 20. It's not 20 centimeters, because there's like it's not 20 centimeters. But I'm just saying, like, the height is 20 centimeters. Sure, technically x is just 20, but whatever. The height, I found it. It's 20 centimeters. Stop complaining. And let's get some bonus money. So, soda can, well, you can read it. So the question becomes, if I have 240 cubic centimeters, and I know one can is 354 milliliters, recall that a milliliter is the same as a cubic centimeter. So a soda can is 354 cubic centimeters. I only need 240. So this is going to take, what do you think, more than a can or less than a can? Hopefully you're thinking it will take less than 1 can, because 240 is less than 354. How much less? I will show you. So let me compare. I need, oh, this is, by the way, this is the bonus money. Ching ching money. All right, where did I think my thing disappeared. Okay, didn't, all right, I'll write it over here again. 240 divided by 354. gave me, come on you, 0.677. I'll call that 0.68. I'll just call that 0.7. So 7/10 of a can. So it'll take like 70% of the can of soda to fill it up. Congratulations, you found that out. All right, at this point, we're going to jump to the next slide, which is like a bonus slide. If you feel like you need more practice, go to it. If not, you can jump straight to the exit ticket. All right, this is the extra practice. If you don't need it, if you're like, oh, I already got this, I already understand it, just feel free to stop this, jump to the exit ticket. If you want to continue, pause here, do it yourself, and check to see if you agree with me, or you can watch me do it. Let's go. So I'll start by annotating the question. They give me, this is the volume. So they tell me volume is 2,400 cubic feet. And I also notice that they tell me that this is a rectangular prism. So what do I know about prisms? I know that the volume is the area of the base times the height. If you think my handwriting is terrible, don't hate. All right, so I also know that I can call this length times width times height because I have a rectangular prism. If you memorize that, great. That was like the last question on your exit ticket from yesterday. If not, it really doesn't matter because you will find out that this works just the same without knowing extra formula. So I'm going to adjust this just so I have some space to work. Okay. So I want to point out that this side right here is 8, which would make this side 8. It would make this side also 8, which would make this side 8. Just notice these sides are all the same because opposite sides in a rectangle are congruent. This enables me to find the area of this side, this rectangle here quite easily because the area of a rectangle is base times height, or maybe however you want to think of it. Base times height. 8 times 5 will be the area of this blue shaded side. So I'll just go ahead and tell you 8 times 5 is 40 square feet. That's the area of this blue thing. And to get the area of a prism, we said we should multiply the area of the base times the height. Well, what's the height? The height is right here. It is x. That's my height. Well, okay, so volume is 40 times x. And again, if you must know, I really just did that by doing 5 times 8. All right, so do I know what the volume is? Yes, they told me. That, I think, if you divide by 40, you will end up getting x is, let's see, kill the 0. 4 into 240 goes, I think, 60 times. So I believe you will get 60 feet as the missing dimension. That says feet. It doesn't look like feet, but it does say feet. 60 feet. Is that all they wanted us to do? Let's just scan and find the missing dimension. I did it. All right, 60 feet. So just to check real quick, 60 times 8 times 5. So 5 times 60 times 8 should give me 2,400. Does it? Well, 8 times 5 is 40. 40 times 60 has 2 zeros. And then 4 times 6 is 2,400. I did it. Hooray. All right, that's the end of the video. Hope you learned something.